wonderful guest with us who is busy doing whatever he knows how to do. Hi, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you too?
So usually we start with the introduction of the girls, but please let's allow the gentleman to introduce himself.
All right, please let me introduce myself to you. Those who are watching me for the first time in Ghana, my name is Councillor George Litrot. I am the only councillor in the whole wide world. I am clothed by Bodyline Clothing, and I find myself on this table here with these beautiful girls that none of them is dating me at the moment. But after the show, we'll have a date.
I didn't ask him to say all of that. Ladies, please introduce yourself.
My name is Mami the first.
Yeah. Well, I'm Vanessa Danso.
Also, and today's conversation is going to be based on a trending conversation on social media because that is where it started. Yvonne Nelson, our beautiful actress who has, over a decade of experience in her field of acting and many other things, she released a book called I Am Not Yvonne Nelson. It's won a lot of conversations on social media. Then there was a highlight of the book where our very own Sarkodie was mentioned in the book. And everybody was expecting that, most people were expecting that Sarkodie is usually not the type that likes to reply to such things. But he did come back with a song, a whole song with a verse, rap, and chorus. It was a complete song. And the words in there were just, people have decided to dissect the entire conversation and see, the truth in it, the ones that are not true. And it's been going on for a while now. We want to add our voice to what we make of the entire conversation, from the book to the song. Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen the book, first of all?
I've seen the book.
Okay.
Right, and I've also heard the song. Mm-hmm. I think we are living in a generation where men are forced to keep quiet. Growing up, even in my household, your mom wouldn't really tell you, the lady, that when you go out there, don't hit anybody. But when a lady's provoking a man, a man is advised that don't hit a woman. And even in cases where, you hear rape cases where the moment the lady makes the allegation, yes, they investigate it, but, suddenly the man is labeled a rapist even before the verdict comes out. Yeah. Do you get it? Men are forced to be silent even when women are pushing buttons. Do you get it? And in this case with Yvonne Nelson's situation, I read the book. She spells the boy's name out, called him Michael, what's the surname? Oswado. And narrated everything that happened. Clearly, she didn't have the man's consent to have put that information. I know, she was trying to vent and whatnot. She wrote what she had to write, vented how she wanted to vent. Again, without his consent. He took 1 week to come back, to come and give his response. Maybe this is also his way of venting. But I'm going on social media and I'm reading, and even Yvonne herself came out to come and say, you have a child and you have a mother, and let's see how that turns out and everything. Using that card, the women card, let's see how you have a child. Why are you doing this to me? Yeah. But you also could potentially give birth to a son. But you did this to me. So if you ask me, I think really and truly, the response Sarkodie gave Yvonne, did he go too far? No.
Okay.
He also vented the way he
could.
So you think that she was wrong in her approach in dealing with the situation?
I'm not judging anybody, but the same way you dished it out, you should be able to also
take it in.
That's it.
Vanessa, thank you for that question, because also when Yvonne Nelson was, in fact, in the book, in writing that particular story, it was one of the stories that she actually, first of all, she concealed a lot of the people in the book, their identities in the book. She did a lot of that. Some of them, a king's name, an actress in Nigeria, an actor in Nigeria. She did that. But with Sarkodie, she spelled out his name. Secondly, she did something in the book that I thought that Sarkodie should have noticed. She tried to make excuses for him, like, even though he got me pregnant, well, at the time he was young and he obviously didn't have his career together, his future wasn't promised, so obviously that would have scared him. She made a lot of excuses for the man. So in my opinion, I felt like Sarkodie went a little bit too far. Maybe he did not read the book. Because maybe if he did, the reaction wouldn't be this intense. However, he did have the right to respond to what was going on because his name was being tarnished. But I'd like to hear from you, Vanessa. What you make of it?
Honestly, I've listened to the song and I'm just uncomfortable with the lyrics because I was expecting so much. Over the period, Sarkodie has built a certain brand for himself where he doesn't get himself dirty in the muddy water.
Right.
He likes to,
he
stay
does
afloat. If he wants to respond to you in a very subtle, sweet, but then the message is clear. So when I listen to the song, and in instances where he even tagged Yvonne as a lady who belongs to the street, I thought that was too much for me. I wasn't comfortable with those words. But then again, like Mama said, if she thought it wise to put out her frustration and whatever experiences she had gone through in a book, and a book is a form of a medium anyway, he also had the right to put out his frustration, his side of the story, in a song. I'm just
the way he felt
exactly. I'm just a little bit concerned about
the lyrics.
The lyrics. I thought they were a bit too harsh.
Too harsh.
Yeah.
That's sweet. You ladies are being nice to the man today. The only gentleman on the set would like to get your take on
When he's
this.
quiet like this, that means
There's no
he's
need
about to
to
make
He's up to no good. Please let's hear you.
A friend of mine told me that I happened to be the first person that provoked Yvonne Nelson to send a lawsuit to me.
Yes. That happened.
I happened to be the first gentleman
What
that
did you
caused. I
went
didn't
on
do
set.
anything, but I spoke my mind on an issue that happens to deal with morality.
Right.
Okay.
And it was specifically a translation from our local parlance that it is said when a woman gets pregnant by a man, or when a woman is impregnated by a man, or take a seed for a man and the man has not paid the bride price, it is said in our local parlance, so the basic translation made Yvonne Nelson felt like I said she has a kwasiaba by the translator. So she wrote a letter to me that I should retract and apologize. And I didn't write back. But on behalf of the stations I was sitting on, I did that for her, for the station. Then I remember Abeku Santana interviewed her about it. And she said she was very disgusting about me and used a very strong word against my mom. But that's okay, because the space I am in, you can insult my father and my mother.
But you're not going to
wife,
judge this conversation based on your personal vendetta.
No.
Great.
Yvonne Nelson came back to vindicate me when he had a child.
Please, that's not what we're doing.
No, I'm just trying to understand. She said, if you don't have money for diapers, use condom. She said it on Twitter handle.
Okay.
She said that.
I see when this is about to go.
That's what
Number
I'm saying. I hope you're not using your personal vendetta
Number two,
against
when
her.
she was answering the 30 questions with Ochami Kofi on 102.9 Angel FM, she made it clear that she's very bitter from childbirth.
Okay.
There's nothing happy. She's not happy at all. She said it. She also said that for her, and when she was 30, somebody approached. I didn't find that in the book. I was shocked. They say at 30, a guy gave her a ring to marry her, and she returned the ring because she's not ready for commitment. She believes in partnership, where you have children and take care of your children, and she'll take care of herself. She also said
I think she actually did write that in the book.
that she believes in partnership.
No. She wrote about the
The
ring
30
marriage
years.
thing, yeah.
So she didn't love marriage.
Yeah.
And she also said in part of the book that the mother was scared of marriage, but she went into marriage and took her to that house. Now, with all the things that Yvonne Nelson is saying round, and what she has written in the book, for me, I am very happy and pleased with Yvonne Nelson. She's looking for the father. That I give her a plus for. But I feel so bad for her that in the quest to look for the father, whoever has stood in their life as a father and uncle and auntie, she's disrespecting and disregarding them. That for me is a low key, and Yvonne Nelson must bow down if she has a head in shame. That is unfortunate and disgusting, because we never in any atmosphere recognize Yvonne Nelson because of the father.
Yeah.
But we accepted her, made her a brand, and she became what she is because she's Yvonne Nelson.
Yes.
Not knowing whether her father was Nelson or was not.
But sometimes you actually hit the nail, like
Right on the head.
I am a carpenter. whatever, anytime they interview her, she talks about the mother. She talks about the mother.
Yes.
So we end up to find out that the product that we are celebrating with no other fault, and I can say this on record that every time we are talking about girls, including myself, we say, as for Yvonne Nelson, she is prim and proper away.
Yes.
That is why when she got pregnant, the people came at me. On Rainbow, Kokonsa came at me because when they said Yvonne Nelson was pregnant, I said, never will it happen to Yvonne Nelson. Because I said it to her, don't follow their footsteps. The way you are, make sure you become a different person. So when she got pregnant, I said, on Rainbow Radio, they called me. So when she gave birth, and they told, then I said, well, yes, CD, and I said, sir, so I just made that statement. So I look at Yvonne Nelson, prim and proper.
But
and
do you regret making that statement?
Never till I die. It should be written on my tombstone because she qualified what I said. That if you are not ready for a child, use condom. When they ask her what does she use her money for, he says 1, fixed asset, 2, production. 3rd biggest one is the child. She said it. It's there on YouTube. It's there. And if there's anything to talk about and anything to write home about with all this incident happening, I'm saying that Yvonne Nelson was accepted and was made a brand. Why are we discussing her? Because she's Yvonne Nelson by the grace of the mother and the family and the stepfathers who maybe she would have said never treated her well. But we have accepted her. Why this book? The quest to look for your father. Should you destroy everybody around? So watch it here. You are women. And I'm looking at the women activists in this country. Whether they are quiet, they are shut up, they are afraid, or they don't want to talk. For a fellow woman who is the mother of Yvonne Nelson, your daughter is Mimi. You have raised her in a certain way, and the way you see her, your experiences are what you use to tell her so she don't repeat your mistakes. Why am I saying this? Yvonne Nelson says that the mother says that at 6 months she wanted to terminate her, and the doctor said no. Why they want? A mother will say this, and that's what I want to caution all mothers. Never use your life experience to ever tell your daughter anything. Whatever you go through with your daughter's father, shut up, die with it. Don't ever think that it will happen to her because you know their problem.
You don't think the daughter needs to know to at least also
forget it. She will not avoid. She would not avoid because the man who did that to you is no more available. Keep that in your head. I did that to you. So this is your daughter. I did that to you. My kind is no more. You chose it and took it away. So why do you put that fear? So you see Vanessa coming up and you call her, me say me who say I'm me not saying I'm in poor so me skin koko ben be at the say and now papa hear me say it in a man's. Keep that in her. So in the quest to tell the girl to be careful of your life because I was like you, they tell the girl what is hurting them. And the ladies don't take your advice. They take your pitfall and want to fight you back from your own word. And that's what Yvonne thinks she is doing to the mother. But the mother is not a celebrity. The mother is not out there. So what she thinks she's doing to the mother is to go back against her. I'm saying all these things to battle a point before I come to Sarkodie. So if you see the package of Yvonne Nelson, read the foreword of the book. Manasseh Azuri. He made an emphatic statement that Yvonne repeated, that they know that the content out of this book will go against our moral standard in this country. So a daughter who has been raised in a certain way, with all my sweat. Look, for a woman to say, I want to terminate pregnancy at 6 months. Girl, you don't know what she's going through.
So do you think there's something the woman is trying to protect? That's why
she has to protect so she dies, because this is not a girl that they give her such an information. All the clues they gave to Yvonne, she brought it as a ridicule in the book.
As a weapon.
As a ridicule. Your mother tells you, yes, George Lutrot is one of the men I think I played with.
So if I'm right, you think that Yvonne's mom doesn't think Yvonne is matured enough to handle whatever.
Yvonne is not bitter. She's fooling. Quote me everywhere. Oh, Jimmy. She's not bitter. Hey, you don't beat the hand that has fed you before.
Aren't your words too harsh?
She's fooling. Oh, Jimmy. Listen.
In what?
Social media will go off Friends and family will go off. Friends will go off. All the people around you, all of us will go off. The only people that will be left behind, which are called the pillar, is the family. And as we speak, you don't know your father. The only relying pillar that you, Yvonne, can rely upon is your mom. And whatever she has gone through, I don't think that in the context of what you have written, you are telling us to say thank you to the human job the woman has done.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that she's not better. Oh, Jimmy, and the Bible says,
or maybe she's better and she's expressing it not
when
in a very
when it comes to your side, say she's better. I'm saying,
okay.
Because Bible says that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child by the rod of correction. So when you see a child fooling, it means that the rod of correction has not worked well on her. Your mother gives you a clue that Alajete was part of the game, and it was behind the scene. Is it worth publishing it? A noble man who has served the state, second Speaker of Parliament in our fourth republic, who have children, and may his soul rest in peace. You unravel a situation that you use the children to go and do a DNA to check whether. So if you found out even that Alajete was your father, was it worth bringing it to the public space, or just change your name? Let's rabble around it.
So do you think Yvonne has also indirectly also disrespected Peter Alajete?
Yes,
everybody
of course.
if you look at it critically, you realize that everybody is getting a
little
job.
And in the foreword of the book, she said that the things she's going to write in this book will cause a lot of moral confusion. So she's deliberately putting people into a context. Look, I don't think the family sat there and said that Alajete's children go and do DNA. But maybe they called and said, this girl has something. So, okay, you are the son. Can we go behind the scene and give us a swap?
No, from the book, I think the kids didn't even want to do a DNA.
Yes.
They were happy with her just being part of their family.
So then you've got to do a swap, and all of a sudden, the wife of the late man, all right, will just realize that another child has popped up somewhere. But it didn't happen so. Why can't we let sleeping dogs lie? But wake them up in a book. Who is Alajete? Now we're going to read about Alajete.
She doesn't deserve that closure.
You found
hasn't even gotten the closure that
you
she's
found out
looking for.
that
That's
I
what
am
the
not
thing
your
is,
father,
in
but
my
you had an
opinion.
opportunity to do a test with my swap. Can you end the story there? Nobody knows we even tried it. Anchor.
I get you.
Maturity. This
So
is why
if
when
there's no truth in it,
why do you bring
have
it?
to- Yeah.
Do you get it? Your mother tells you that, Charlie, I hate you, you are a mistake. She's not lying. Truly, you are a mistake, because a child that is conceived not through consensual mentality for after intercourse. Babies are supposed to be born by choice, not by chance. So when your mother says you are a mistake, it's right, because when Sarkodie at 22 impregnated you at 25, you saw that as a mistake and you terminated it.
Okay, hold on.
Haven't you repeated your mother's thing?
Hold on.
Can we tell you what?
Hold on.
It's not you.
Anyway, so we're
Well, I
here
have to
inside
say
Loncha.
something quickly. Okay, so you have rubbished the book entirely. Do you also agree with what people are saying, that it was strategic, a strategy in a marketing sense, just to make sales? Do you agree
Well,
with
if
that?
everything will make sales for us, then prostitution is the best profession. I keep saying.
But
What's
do
with you and
do
prostitutes?
do you agree with what people are
No, what I'm saying, if you think that everything can make money for you, look at a memoir. You've written a memoir that one day will come back, your children will read.
Yeah.
It's not everything that is readable. Some things are supposed to be died with. And that's why I was coming to Sarkodie's portion.
Yeah.
That you was telling us that, yes, at 25, you didn't have any knowledge about sex education. Your mother is sitting at home. Mimi, no, as my daughter Mimi, and growing up. My father told me, if you go closer to a girl, she'll be pregnant. And when the girl gets pregnant, you won't go to school again. You push stroke. And I never want to push stroke. But people who push stroke don't wear canvas. So the fear was put in me. I went back to school, far back in Community and Form 4. The knowledge they gave us in school was that if you get closer to a woman, she'll be pregnant and you can't finish school. So you see, the fear from the house. Fear at then when I went to church, they brought the same statement and they added that you would die in hell.
You rot in hell.
So I was never told that sex was used for pleasure. What they told me was that every sexual intercourse brings a child. So it took me away from sex. So here comes your daughter at 25. That you are keeping that in that shape, for example. Then you read back in the book that she even got pregnant, terminated, without your knowledge.
And
Mother,
in your mind, you have done such a great job.
how would mother know?
Even if she did, I'm sure it's not an information she would have wanted out
So
there.
how would mother feel that my daughter that I've kept thinking she's the Vanessa only be but my tune for say unwanted pregnancy is not right? I find in a book that she got pregnant and terminated.
I get that.
Now let's move back to the
You get it?
the Sarkodie bit, because in Sarkodie's song as well, he revealed so many things, that, by the way,
Some
I
of the
said
things.
that, you know, were a bit.
No, he said
healthy
some
for
of the
family.
things.
So basically, if I don't know, you guys tell me. The issue here is the fact that Sarkodie referred to Yvonne Nelson as being from the street.
No.
That's what the problem is.
There's more.
I mean-
he mentioned the people that she was dealing with, and that he wasn't the only one. So he
He's
even
alright.
considered her.
But I mean,
to
even in
be
the
dating.
book, well, she didn't really say all of that.
Yeah.
So we are just going
Okay.
by what we've been
Okay,
told.
so the
You
most
know?
important thing is that when a lady finds out that she's not the only person you're sleeping with, it's no news, it's a privilege.
Okay. On that privilege note, he's going to definitely tell us about how he really feels about Sarkodie's bit on the I Am Not Yvonne Nelson book, and his reply and the things he said and how people have been reacting to it. This is Toast right here on GH1 TV. We are here at Launcha Ghana. They are the best interior decoration company in Ghana and much. Because Councillor Luttrell is here and he's still spilling the beans on the conversation. Yvonne Nelson's book, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, Sarkodie's reply, and all the reactions on social media. We are here at Launcha Ghana, and I'm telling you that they're the best interior decoration company in Ghana and beyond. If you want to make that home a very
No, my name landed.
oh.
Akwaji Bibi, go.
Me. Sure. You're not supposed to acknowledge your people like that.
You never do wrong before you go.
Okay, alright.
Anita wanted to do an Indian movie.
Welcome back to Toast right here on GH1 Television. If you're just joining us, you made the right choice. The conversation is getting heated over here. We're discussing Yvonne Nelson's book, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, and the reply from Sarkodie, because his name was mentioned in there, and all the reactions we're getting on social media. Also, I want to remind you that Anupama is on GH1 every day from Monday to Friday, 8:30 p.m. right here. The conversation about that is also very, very interesting, but I'm telling you that you can learn a lot of things from that. So every Monday till Friday, right here on GH1 TV, 8:30 p.m., join us. Let's have a great time on Anupama. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to this conversation.
Yeah.
So, Sarkodie, who, by the way, this reply was a surprise because nobody was really.
I actually
I was
didn't
blown
think he
away.
would
Likewise.
respond.
And he released the song Adon.
Hey,
Wiki do.
and it's the fact that he even shared it on his page.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like posted it on his YouTube, shared it on his Twitter page, and then probably.
And the reply was huge. There were a lot of things in there that people thought was
many
not,
things.
appropriate and all of that. Councillor Luttrell, tell
You
us.
see,
You've listened to this.
everybody will want to use the material that we know of them in the public space to either defend themselves or enlighten followers. So like Yvonne Nelson in the foreword and the author's write-up, she says that the reason for writing this book was for the young ones like you who are coming and want to enter the space she finds herself to become a celebrity, so that you know that the womanhood you have cannot be tempered with. So that's why she wrote the book. So we know her to be doing movies, but every movie director is a writer. So she started with the memoir by writing for us, and she's going to act it out maybe when she gets the cast to replace. So Sarkodie, we know, is a lyrical king. When it comes to rap, he can use anything for rap. So we're expecting that if he doesn't go to sue Yvonne for mentioning him in a material that is commercialized, which he has a right to do so because he's also a commercial product. Sarkodie is a product. And if you mention the name Sarkodie immediately, even Professor Sarkodie, the family Sarkodie, the Sark name has become a product that is what will pop up first. So when you tamper with Sarkodie, you are tampering with a brand. And like Yvonne Nelson said to me in the letter she wrote, that it has affected her brand and people don't want to use her anymore when she sent a letter from the lawyer's point of view. So she needs an apology because we call her a prostitute, a shawo in the guy's translation. So she believes that products should not be touched like that. The same way she believes that such products can also sell when they are mentioned. And this is something that only guys in Tema those days knows that there was some sharing between Sark and Yvonne. Until this story came, I have no preview that Sarkodie and Yvonne had anything like that to do. And I didn't want to know because they have never been married. One of the relationships that government has given right for recognition is marriage under the civil law, traditional law, and the Mohammedan law.
Were you a virgin before you got married?
Come again?
Were you a virgin before you got
That's
married?
the mistake, and I will never repeat it in my life.
Okay.
I will have sex before I get married. That thing I did.
Also, you were a virgin before you got married?
Don't talk about it. I don't want to go there.
Oh, but I'm asking you again.
Ask Anita the way I'm angry about that thing.
Please go ahead on Sarkodie. We are talking about Sarkodie.
You want to be a virgin before you marry.
Please don't take it personal.
This suffering mentality.
Let's go, please.
Viewers, I'm sorry.
But counselor,
There was nothing good about keeping my virginity, but this girl wants to destroy it. But if you want to keep it, keep it and keep masturbating. Come on, you look at it. Let me finish the conversation. So the Sarkodie bit at this stage of their life is touching a product that if there's a management, the management should go hard on Yvonne to retrieve all the books or pass. She can be sued.
But was she wrong in her submission?
What did she say?
and it's about her life as
No,
well.
what did she say?
Okay, especially with the Sarkodie bits. Now, I think that
The two of them had a relationship that was not registered and was illegal. There was no legality to that relationship. If you write about a husband.
I don't think it was illegal. It just wasn't legal. That's it. When you say illegal,
When the thing is, so if it's
in
not
terms of the
illegal,
law.
if the thing is not legal, is what?
No, but
Yeah, in terms of the law.
No, if the thing is not legal.
It's not really illegal.
No, you see, it can't be just because you have sex.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
exactly, you can't call it illegal.
But it's what?
It wasn't
Just because something is
official.
not, it just wasn't official. That's
Yeah.
it.
What is official?
The relationship wasn't official.
And I'm using legal, it's not official.
Yeah, they're saying this because you were a virgin when you got married. It's fine.
I'm happy you broke your virginity and keep it up. It will help
How do you know? How do you
The
know?
way you're pointing.
You will tell us the truth.
The way you're
How do you
smiling.
know?
Okay, mommy.
So watch it
What
here.
about you guys?
Watch it. So I'm saying that all these things that he said, Sarkodie will come in a lyrical form, and the song is solid. But not all the needed things are within it. Now, I fought Sarkodie in a way. I love the way he brought the song, but to say that he was going to die with such a content to death in the song, she said it.
Yeah.
He said it in the
He
song.
said his intentions were to die with
Die
it.
with it. And that is the best that can happen to Yvonne Nelson. Because the child is not alive. The only evidence you can use to have a discussion with a relationship that is talking jolly is when there's a child. She no kona yena she tell you attend way for me no. We don't talk about it.
That. Are you actually saying?
If a guy has sex with you and there's no record of child, yeah, she. No ni padi ye be take away. Allo eta helolo.
We'll move away from that.
So I'm saying, okay, the reason for bringing this out there is because the relationship is not known by all of us. Why do you bring Sarkodie and mention a certain guy in Nigeria, a certain king? Why are their names not in? Is it because they are not products or they are untouchable products?
That is the reason I was asking if it wasn't a marketing strategy for the books to make
Thank
sales.
you.
But
So if it's a marketing
why should it be
strategy,
at the expense of another person's
why
image?
won't you consult him to market together?
But
Because
hold on.
everybody needs money. So Sarkodie coming the way he came is too polite. And it tells you that Sarkodie is coming from a home where people advise him before he writes his lyrics.
Can I agree?
Because this is very gentle.
Mm.
I don't think the lyrics were too
Have you listened to the song?
I have.
That you are
Twice.
listen.
He even came to talk about
When-
how a week before the book was launched, he
That I knew about. Yeah,
he called.
So it means that they are still in talking terms.
Yeah.
So before the book was launched, Yvonne needed to have a sit-up with him
Sarkodie.
to tell Sarkodie that, well, what happened between the two of us? Maybe I've written it in the book because I'm still paying.
And
But
Sarkodie
Sarkodie said in the book that as for you saying every day you are hurt and you are having a pain, it is a regular thing you repeat.
Oh.
And Yvonne Nelson said it when he was answering the 30 questions on 102.9, that for her, there's nothing that will take her out of her heart. And I'm saying Sarkodie's response is too gentle. Listen to the words
I think it was a little
carefully.
unfair.
Yeah.
It is so gentle because if Sarkodie was going to go like the way Yvonne Nelson went, like we have nothing to listen to.
But in her
understand?
defense, now I keep saying this.
Defense.
If you read that Sarkodie bit, she was very, very gentle and very
What a gentle
protective of him.
No.
Like, oh, I know that
He wasn't even in the right state to
He
find
wasn't
No,
in the
no,
right
no.
state to-
Then
but the only thing is
No.
that he didn't mind
I
me
think
after.
in this case,
Exactly.
So
I
meaning,
think,
and just like what I said earlier on, that you're telling your daughter, Adjoa, be careful. When I was like your age, you just resemble me, and that's how your father forced himself on me, and I had you, and I didn't complete school. He met me when I was having my breast on. Your mother is trying to advise you, but what he's telling you is what he feels hurt about. So Yvonne Nelson, you are saying, was gentle with Sark, but told us that I did an abortion. And the issue here is about a Sarkodie, who is a brand, has supervised abortion.
That's true.
So it's not about your gentility of the writing. Everything you say. I sat on a show and I was talking about having a child out of wedlock, and I'm happy about it, which was even a statement I was making in an example. Nobody went for the story. It became an you don't respect, and the activists in the women. If you respect your wife, you say that you have a child that today, even Nelson, nobody's talking about. So Sarkodie's song is correct, but it's minimal. And I hope this is volume 1.
hold on. I think, hold on.
Because
Wait,
Yvonne Nelson's response
Calm down.
demands
Yeah, she also
another
responded
second
to that.
verse
She responded
of the
and asked you
song.
like,
we'll come back to the response, but I think we're debating for the fact that Yvonne's book that she came to write, was it a lie?
Yes.
It wasn't a lie.
No.
They did have sex.
What do you
There
lie
was an
about what?
abortion. Hold on, please, let me land. There was an abortion
Between
between
a 25-year-old woman and a
they were,
22-year-old boy.
he was of age.
Who was of
She
age?
he wasn't forced.
He wasn't forced. It
He
wasn't
was
rape.
3
Are we
years
talking about
younger
rape?
than
Hold
her.
on, let me land.
Nobody's talking about rape.
Yvonne never insulted Sarkodie.
No,
In the book.
In the book,
In the
never insulted Sarkodie.
What do you call insult?
Like Mimi said,
Yeah.
if anything,
No,
try
what do
to
you call-
even better. Counselor, let me land.
What do you
it.
call insult?
Insult.
Have you been a man before?
For Sarkodie's comment.
Where somebody comes to say you made me have abortion, you say it's not insult.
Abortion, it wasn't an insult. She was talking about her life, what she's gone through.
And
There was never an insult.
have
There was
you
never
read
an
the book
insult.
well?
I've read the book.
Did he say Sarkodie impregnated and asked to abort?
How was that an insult? That's the truth.
And that is not true.
Oh.
Yvonne Nelson aborted because she wants to go to school.
Okay, so that one she also
Yeah,
responded to it that
yeah.
at the time that Sarkodie is claiming that she was doing it because of school, she had graduated from school. Just about the same
In fact,
October 2010.
yeah.
Has Yvonne graduated?
Yeah, she has. She has.
When?
Oh, she even has her master's or doctorate.
No, when did she graduate?
From Central University.
From Central University,
In October
2010.
When?
2010.
So when
October
she was
2010.
25, she was in Central University.
Yeah, she had graduated from.
So when
Central University.
when she was 25, she was in Central
Yes.
University. So she was no more in school.
She had graduated.
So she was no more in
But
school.
then-
Yeah, she was just leaving school.
Maybe
But
I
even
was
with that
saying-
being
No,
said,
you-
Let me just read that tweet. So she said, I was pregnant at the time I launched my glaucoma foundation around October 2010. I graduated from Central University in October 2010.
Yes.
It was my final year, but I'd completed my coursework month before the October graduation and my pregnancy. I was only waiting for my certificates.
So,
So
she was out of school.
Yeah.
So that also is a lie.
No, it's not a lie.
Well,
She was in school.
Oh, she had graduated.
If you are waiting for
She
certificate,
said
have you
she
completed?
had finished her coursework.
She
She was
has-
waiting for the sets.
So she
had
has.
completed.
So if you have finished your
It's a
coursework,
lie, it's not an insult. And number one, it's between the
it's
two.
not an insult.
Hold on. It's not an insult.
Were you
It's
there?
not- When it's a lie, we want to know the truth.
No, were you there?
never, hold on, you were never there.
I was there.
You weren't there.
Oh, please.
You
I
weren't
was
there.
there.
You
Where
weren't
were you?
there.
Where
So you want me to tell
You
you where I
weren't there.
was?
Where were you?
I was in the song and the book.
You weren't there. I went there. So whatever the truth is, between the two
yeah,
of them.
from the side. Yeah,
There was never a time where Yvonne said Sarkodie is a womanizer.
Or he's a wicked
this, or
person.
called- Exactly.
He didn't
She
really-
never called him out of
But
his
he
name.
came.
But he came at the
Way
girl.
too hard.
Wait, what?
Way too hard. And
Way
yeah, from
too
the street.
hard.
Let's talk about all the
You are
all the
the men
niggas,
you
all the
were
men you were with.
hold on,
And
hold on.
what's the
And
yeah, you know,
hold on,
like,
hold on.
is it really? Do you
Kwa-
think
do you know
Sarkodie's
Kwame?
statement does it?
Do you
does
know
it-
Kwame?
Hold on.
Who is
Counsel,
Kwame?
let me land.
You don't know
When I'm
Kwame.
talking, I allow you
No,
to
do you
land.
know Kwame?
I don't know Kwame. Let me land.
So why are you speaking for Kwame?
Me too. Don't speak for me. I'm speaking.
I'm speaking for Kwame. Do you know Kwame?
I don't know Kwame. But
I don't want to mention Kwame, but okay, sorry. Thank you for pinching me because
can I talk now?
I know Kwame.
Right. So, right. Counselor, one man something called.
Okay, ladies, if you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen of the show, this is Toast. We're still bisecting, and my friends were appreciating the book, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, and the response from Sarkodie.
You tried or something.
Let me help you. So you were talking about the words that Sarkodie used, calling Yvonne.
Yeah.
And she's from the streets.
Yes, like we spoke about.
Right.
We don't know what went on, what conspired between the two of them. We were never
It's
there.
one's word against the other.
Exactly. But either ways, Yvonne never called Sarkodie out of his name. Never called him promiscuous. Never called him a hoe, a harlot. Never. Do you know? But for him to come out and say, you know, you're from the streets. Let's talk about all the niggas that you've slept with and this and that and that, and you know, literally, like, it was like an insult from head to toe. Do you think that, and you know, when you go on social media, everyone's saying that Sarkodie, you have a wife, you have a daughter,
You have a family.
was it really necessary for you to insult a woman and drag her? Counselor, please.
No, honestly, I agree with
Please,
you.
let me. No, it was so wrong.
Was it
Counselor.
necessary to insult a
It is
woman?
so.
We are trees.
Did she insult him?
Chojiwo.
What she said
Mommy,
wasn't
this
a
is
lie.
fine.
No, wasn't a lie. What she said wasn't a lie. I mean, whether
Insult
it's
a
true or
woman.
whatnot, Counselor,
Counselor, you have to hold your.
You are throwing stones into a glass house
No,
and say,
you
I
have
am
your
sorry.
time
a
to
woman,
say what
she's
you
from
want
the
to say.
street. You are insulting.
She is.
But whose house
For
is
the
not in
streets,
front of the
for the
street?
streets.
That makes it more painful.
Do you know how painful this is?
In what way?
For the streets.
But are you not for
You are
the street?
somebody that anybody can sleep with.
I'm on side chain fast on top.
It's wrong.
Is it true?
That was so
It's
wrong.
not true.
Is it
That
true?
was wrong.
Which one is wrong?
That counselor.
The content.
However, she did come
Charlie, let me have
back
my
and try
time.
to respond. Do you think, ladies, do you think that it's even needed for her to come and reply to
No.
these things?
No.
How do you feel about her tweets? Because
Honestly.
I'm broken a little bit. I can say confidently that if you look at Yvonne Nelson, her poster, do you know that right after the book, she made a post on Twitter and said that she tweeted and said very soon she will one day celebrate Father's Day. That broke my heart.
Yeah.
You can see her from a point of hurt. You can see that she's breaking. This thing she's even done is her own way of expressing how much pain there is inside of her. However, certain people are being hurt. I will not dispute that fact. And some people
Of
are
course,
getting hurt.
I understand, yeah.
You know
But
that
the back and forth she's doing on social media with the tweeting back, with trying to explain herself, do you think that is necessary?
it just makes her look more bad in the eyes of the
I
public. Because
agree.
you know now people are taking her tweets, comparing it to some excerpts of the book, and then calling her
A
out for
liar.
being a
Yeah.
liar.
A lie. Yeah, that's true.
She should have just held on to her thoughts whatever they were.
There's also conversation that she didn't cover every part of her life. The times when she was the villain, the
Yeah.
times when she was doing her own stuff and she's not totally a saint.
It's her script.
She
And
gets
it's
it
her
right.
It's her script. And exactly.
Yeah. That's
At the end of the
essence
day,
of
I
the
pick
law.
and choose what I want
Want
to.
to
No
put
one
out
is
there.
entitled to. As long as I'm in something with you, you
Yeah.
have 50% share of the information. I can choose to do what I want to do with it. You can also choose to do with what the information you want.
Yeah.
But as long as it is not a lie, I can do whatever I want to do with
Now,
it.
in picking and choosing,
The only thing that I think Yvonne did wrong was she could have gone about it the right way by having conversation or seeking consent. If they decline, then you can be like, listen, I'm still gonna go out. Like, give them
You
the
have a
heads up to
diplomatic
let
way
them,
of representing
you know.
them.
Because you take the likes of Inyanya, I don't know whether he was even
He was
aware
just
of.
acting funny the
Because
entire time,
he did a
understand
video to promote the book that Yvonne was writing even before it was launched. So clearly, maybe he wasn't
He
even
wasn't
aware
there.
that.
He
Do
was
you get
supposed to
it?
be put
That's
in.
the only issue that I have with the whole Yvonne thing.
Yeah.
But for Sarkodie to come out and say Yvonne is for the streets and let's talk about all the niggas and whatnot, I
That
felt like
was
that
just
was
not
below
okay.
the
Below the
belt.
belt,
That was
yeah.
below the belt.
He could have been a bit more diplomatic in presenting, no
Like-
matter how hurt he
like the
was.
Sarkodie
Because we
video.
know Sarkodie to
Yeah.
be
This
the
man is
guy.
not for peace.
No, at all. The government is cooking in his head.
Anything to do with peace,
Right,
he's
that's
just
just
going to
his
speak
words.
off.
So, Councillor Luttrell.
So the song is a good song. The content is very educative
How educative.
and is a caution to those of you who have decided to come and see what the two of us did in the room.
I think it's Antenna.
Because Antenna is too far. In Accra, you have one to me in Kawasan with Councillor Lutrot. So watch it. You are saying that you don't insult a woman, but we insult a man.
No, that's not what we're saying.
But
let's
did she
not,
insult
so let's,
a man?
let's not bring a gender thing.
Did she insult a man?
Growing up, so let me finish. Growing up,
Please, why?
we were beating when you even go and do soccer pimping with a girl. That one we don't even penetrate. You are wearing your dress and we lie on you, and somebody go and say, they will beat you. Yani akwa girl ni eje to nation on the koto shine feel about to abukaka choma. We were told never to even speak about sex with a woman. So we're put in that silence. But I'm going back again to Yvonne's book. Manasseh, very brilliant young journalist, said, we know what we are putting in the book morally will bring a lot of confusion. Yvonne Nelson, as the author said, the same thing. So it means that if you throw stones to a glass house, remember you are waiting for a response. So are you bracing yourself for what will come as a woman? A woman who received the first slap to her husband. And I said, "Oh, Kasana, me go for pana, me born assume in the police station." Madam say then, me born assume immediately before the boy. Only me born get one about me kesiye. Where is the law? Kesiye ni kitu anwa. Even now, saying you are praising, like I praise him, I say, looking for your father is the best thing that you want to done, and I support it. But dealing with other people whilst you are looking for your father, even if I'm your father, I'm scared to come out now. But what will you do to me? Sarkodie's lyrical content is solid, brilliant.
So you could have
A well-trained young man who can carve words to rhyme. You see, when you are a rapper like me, your words must rhyme.
A rapper like you.
You've not played my song before.
Okay, rap.
So if your words don't rhyme with the rap, it's not nice.
Right.
And this young man has been the best rapper so many years now. His response, you say, was harsh. He said you are on the street.
For the street.
For the street. That's what he said. You are for the street. And you want to say that for the street, what is your interpretation?
It means you're for everybody. And
Thank you. My interpretation for the street, it means that you sell.
Listen, my
So
producer has really screamed.
everybody has their interpretation for the
Really?
street.
Really?
Oh no.
Really?
Is it your interpretation?
No. It's not about your interpretation.
It's definitely not Sarkodie's interpretation.
No, what we say before are for the street. What do you mean?
For the streets, it means
before he said she was for the street, he said like a couple of other things.
Like,
let's talk about the other men you've
That's
slept
exactly
with. The kind of
so
things
the
you've
fact that you
are
slept with
for the
other
street.
men,
Contextually.
and what he was saying he slept with other men, is not a lie. Is he a
So
lie?
how do you confirm that? How do you confirm that? You know that?
If Yvonne didn't sleep with other men, would we be able to know that he slept with Sarkodie? Is Sarkodie not a man?
Well, so far we only know about Sarkodie.
No, it's not only about Sarkodie. It's not only Sarkodie. Are you mentioning more than one?
Please.
Yvonne Nelson never said that, and you Sarkodie broke my virginity and made me pregnant. No, at 25. So I'm saying that a 22-year-old boy having access to a 25-year-old woman is a privilege.
On whose part?
On the part of a young boy like Sarkodie, and wanted to keep this history to his grave. Lo and behold, the cat was let out of the bag. Who started it? So women, don't say your basa, but opanso and kasa intia bemasa. Yemienu ya kodem ya ye DSC ye. Abofra na e ba na ye mistake. Yakoyi. And listen, the consent form for abortion is not signed by a boyfriend. If we take you through counseling and you still want to terminate, after all whatever it is, the best person to sign the consent form is either a parent or a guardian, not a boyfriend. So a boyfriend actually is not needed at your table to hold your hands like this so that they can push it. Come on, like, no. So I didn't come there with you is my problem. Or Yvonne want to tell us in the book, was she ready to keep the pregnancy? Like the mother kept her and fighting who the father is now? But the decision was that Sarkodie's song says, you terminated because you were talking about school and other things. I didn't call for it. I also said that if truly you want to terminate, for safe and everything. I have a doctor that we can go to. You still chose to go to your doctor. You know what that means? I doubt even if you ever got pregnant. Because go back in school days, some mornings we chop from some girls. Sorry. I'm sorry.
What you guys are
They're on TV. That's no. She's so. I'm trying to apologize to her. They come to collect money and say, you know I'm quiet. It's not about the semester, but the thing has not come. And like I was telling you, that the way you were doing it, I was feeling heartbeat. And when I feel heartbeat, it means that I can get pregnant. I'm even afraid to test. But Charlie, if I test and it's positive, I don't know what to do now. And usually when men impregnate young girls in school, they don't have money at that time. Anytime a girl gets pregnant for you, so I photocopy car, I can't give her. And the girls will collect your photocopy money, your registration fee, to flash nothing.
To flash nothing.
To flash nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Even me, I had some.
From a woman.
A girl went to collect some from a certain teacher. Teacher. No, guys on you. No, people say, no, this can buy 120 Ghana. No, say I wash me 30 Ghana. No, man, 120. And I'm here 40 Ghana. And I'm here receipt, man.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Sarkodie lyrics, nature say, on Jim Dim post said, you said, you know, because I know crack, but people not call the doctor. No, call no one doctor. And then you couldn't post out one Yamakui, and one you know. And then no, so yeah, and no, Sarkodie, a very mature person.
To say that.
Oh, yeah, Titia, Papa, but see, not all can't get so worried Yvonne Nelson.
Of course.
Now, what about that kind of gear?
Obey,
One can say with 3-1. You were you bonny. Obi or then a year thing. To say, the sexual life above from. How do you dear Odi Papa, Yvonne Nelson? To say, the year be dear, see.
Councillor Lutrens.
I didn't want to walk away. If one coin one to man call one cody or Baba Shess Sarkodie. But so now, one when I come say, when you send that Sarkodie pen on you there, or ye, Yankupo was so actually, but Sarkodie, I mean, shroud. Prepare for the response, and if once we respond, it's painful.
Okay, you're going to go on. We're going to touch on that, the tweets and all of that very soon. If you just joined us, this is Toast on GH1 Television. We'll be right back after this commercial break. That's what we do behind the scenes when we are going on break. I wish it's live, but we're going to bring it right here. We are here inside Launcher, Ghana, and I'm encouraging you to pass through, grab that thing for your home to make it a beautiful haven. All right. So you can contact them on 050-658-5101. Also, you can find them on social media. Facebook and Instagram is at Launcher Ghana. Well, back to the conversation.
Yeah.
The response from Yvonne Nelson to Sarkodie's song is also giving some validation to some of the things that Sarkodie has said. So, for instance, Sarkodie said he asked that the baby be kept, and Yvonne Nelson said that it was because of her school she would not be able to keep the baby. Mm-hmm. Then Yvonne Nelson retweets that, tweets on that part of the song that, if you claim that you wanted me to keep the child, you were in a serious relationship with somebody whom you were about to you wanted to get married to. How are you going to tell me to keep a baby? Which validates what Sarkodie said, that you had an excuse to not keep the baby. Are we on the same page? Do we think that the coming back with the explanations and the feedbacks that we're getting from Yvonne Nelson is kind of like, putting everybody, like, anybody who supported her kind of takes you back, and then you're like, we're on a swing.
Like,
Again,
what's really going on?
Like I said, I wasn't there, so I won't be able to tell.
But based on the conversation we're seeing,
based on the conversation, I think Yvonne was the one that, I don't think any girl, Yvonne seems like the emotional type.
Yeah, she's broken.
And I don't think she's the type to lie about doing an abortion if she didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't think she'll come out here and put it out that, I wanted to keep the baby and he told me not to. Because at the end of the day, it's my stomach. I'm probably going to be the one to go through the pain. I don't know how an abortion feels like, but probably go through the pain and the suction, and it's not painful, eh? Okay. How do you know?
You don't know how it feels, and I'm telling you, it's not painful.
And I said, how do you know?
Have you been pregnant before?
No.
So how will you know? I'm telling you.
Have you been pregnant before?
I do abortion.
Hey, Ghana police. I have a member for you.
That part.
I have a member for you.
But honestly,
No, it's not. You don't understand it.
Uh-huh.
In my facility, abortion is allowed.
Really?
So we counsel people who are in serious positions that they want to terminate. And you have two options. To hear that a girl who walked to you for the facility to assist her based on her condition and her depression has committed suicide by going to drink bottles.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So once you are part of the team, if a team of 7 counselors, people who fill the card, those who give medicine, it is a team.
Okay.
So when I'm saying I know what I'm talking about,
Got you.
do you understand what I'm saying?
Got you.
Right.
So go ahead, flow.
Got you. So what I'm saying is, again, you've made me forget what I was saying.
And also then, maybe I'll forget what I was
Yeah.
saying.
No, but I said it initially that I'm just not comfortable with the entire back and forth.
Yeah.
And you see, some of the tweets, like you rightly mentioned.
You keep pulling up receipts.
Yeah. Just be on the
Give
safe
it,
side.
give it.
You know, so here she said, Michael, you claim I was desperate to abort because I needed to complete school. In 2010, when I became pregnant, I had completed blah, 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 blah. Then she comes again to say that, and would you have readily agreed for me to keep a pregnancy when you were in a serious relationship with another lady who would
Now, there's even a conversation about it that ladies,
Your
we have to
street
touch
line
on
is
That she was
laid
aware.
out.
that. Okay, you are aware that the person has a serious
girlfriend.
girlfriend. A woman's supposed to
Oh,
be really.
Yeah, it's your relationship. It was important to you. You come
You
in.
come in.
But I'm not friends with the
Yeah.
person. The person is not. Wait, whatever Yvonne chose to do at that point, she was an adult, and
She
like
made the decision.
counselor would say, they weren't married, isn't it, counselor? No more worrying.
So anybody can come in and out.
Exactly. If they were married, it was a different case. But here's the case where Sarkodie wasn't married to Tracy. So more or less, it was just like we are dating. Serious. That's the
Well, we don't know
relationship
if that was Tracy though.
stuff.
we
They've
don't
been
know
together for long.
Okay,
it
so
was
it
her.
could,
Yeah, it was her.
Okay.
So yeah, honestly, I back to Vanessa.
Vanessa.
I'm confused right now.
Okay, so you were thinking that Yvonne at 25 wants to marry a 22-year-old boy. Because Yvonne says that she feels that is a man's world. And if you want to succeed, you have to have the man's image. That's what she said. So if somebody says, oh yes, you know, and if you want to talk about people, you have to read most of the things they have said. And this is within the 30 questions that she was asked. It's on YouTube. She said it's a man's world. And if you want to achieve, you have to be a man. And even she growing up looked like a tomboy most
Yeah.
time. So a tomboy who wants to be in charge, would she have been ready to be a wife to a 22-year-old boy that she's older than 3 years?
Was that?
So you think that the decision to abort was truly really
She had too many things that gave her the right to terminate the pregnancy.
Okay.
And I'm not against that because she's coming from a place where even the house is not solid. Her background, fear for marriage, and all these things could have informed the termination. But was it necessary to us that we bring it into the limelight?
Okay. That's your
What
problem.
was the achievement in Yvonne's life to tell us that I've been pregnant before and terminated? Is it like a woman who has gone into marriage and she's been accused of being barren and want to prove to the world that I've been impregnated before and I terminated?
But you see,
What's the
after,
essence?
when she brought out the book initially, I didn't think the real issue was with the abortion bit because, like it or not, most women have committed abortions for most of these A-list celebrities. But I think the real issue was with the fact that
That's a serious accusation.
oh, that's true. That's so true.
No,
That's
so
What's the
true.
statistics that's backing that?
No, you don't need statistics.
But it's
That's
true.
so true.
It's so true.
So
Let me end. I think the real issue was with the fact that
So true.
the real issue was with the fact that
Ladies, this your point is to wrap up, okay? So
yeah, sure.
let's-
I feel like the real issue was with the fact that he left her in pain on her own after the abortion. And I was not going to come to say that, oh, you texted me, I didn't even think it was true that you were in pain because your whole life you've been in pain. What was that?
Okay, that's something too. That's
What was
something
that?
to talk about because it was like you're trying to tell me that she's a drama queen,
Yeah.
and this I
So
can't
her
believe what you're
feelings don't really
saying.
matter. What was that? It wasn't nice.
Mommy,
so-
what
so-
are your final words?
My final words are, please, this man, counselor is
You
counselor.
love it.
You know,
You love it.
he's a man on his own. But me, what I'm trying to tell you
A woman on your own.
I'm a woman on my own. Sarkodie could have done better. I think we all placed him on a pedestal.
And
Like,
very high.
yeah, I thought the worst that he could do was, you know, Sarkodie, whenever there's beef, he wouldn't respond.
You come and take.
He just bring direct.
Yeah, maybe you were doing a song about Rockstar, something
Yeah.
This
very,
is
you
not
know, and then
a
he would have
beef.
like one line. He said like just a punchline. And
This
then
is
go.
not a
But
beef.
literally, he made a whole song head to toe.
This is not a
And you
beef.
could tell that I hear this is even a polished version.
I think it hurt him that
This
way.
is even the polished version.
Can we also say that it hurt him that
I
way?
understand, but you can do so, like Yvonne rightfully said, you can make your points without being insulted.
Yeah.
You know.
As mature as he is.
Anyway, Counselor.
Counselor, just in 2 seconds.
In 24 seconds, let's all learn that there are issues that you're supposed to die with.
Right.
Yeah.
Maturity gives you the signals that on earth you'll be hurt by people and people will hurt you. But when you're focused, their drama is not important. When God spoke to Noah to build the ark because there was flood coming, there were mockery around Noah. But Noah had time to allow the tortoise to come into the ark. He had time to allow the ants to come into the ark. Whoever has bruised you, hurt you, done anything against you, before you act, ask yourself, is it worth my shame? That's the first thing you ask yourself. Because in the quest to make the world dirty, your anus is part of it. The literal translation of the goats and the wall.
You have a point there.
We have known Yvonne Nelson as me. Every movie she premieres, I go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like what she does. It's not because she gives me free ticket. I go and she comes. The last time I met her when she was coming up in the last one she did, and I spoke about it. The content is right. If tomorrow never ends, that movie,
Yes.
I watch it on the flight.
Fix and
So
just
what
a
I'm
movie.
saying, is that she has gone through a lot, and she's even putting it together for us as what do you call it, a movie. If this came out as a movie, we'll talk about it and go. But to deliberately write and have these things is what has sparked this. If there's any advice for Yvonne, she should stop the responding on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because Sarkodie will not respond on Twitter. But she should watch the trail of the comments that are coming as her response is going. It is bloating to pick the tweets into the book, and they are looking for things that you could have said if truly you wanted to pour out. The respect for Sarkodie's wife is not anywhere. Yvonne Nelson has nothing to do with the wife of Sarkodie because the two of them were somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not part of the game. So those of you talking about how would Tracy feel, no, Tracy is out. I've told Tracy before that she shouldn't mingle with the celebrity thing. She should remain as a wife there. I told her before at the airport. And I think she's following that. So she won't come and say anything. But Sarkodie's lyrical content, solid. And this is supposed to silence Yvonne. But she has started the part 2 of volume 2 of this lyrical content. If you know her like I know her, tell her, women activists, Yenye Yoba, the group of 747, please tell her she should stop.
She won't come in this
Because the last one was, you have a daughter. You have a daughter. Was he a curse?
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah.
That
Was he a curse?
That was wrong, Yvonne. You can't do that.
No,
to
was he
someone
a
else
curse?
who has done nothing to you? You can't.
No,
do
was
that.
he a
Please.
curse? If you are looking for your father, should everybody's father become useless? Yvonne, I've told you this before. And they didn't let you know that one. But for the first time, 0277. You see, all of you are down on TV. Oh, 609. Number. 644. Write it for her. Apparently, take your phone and record. 0277 609 644. The reason I'm giving you the number is that if you are hurt, don't hurt everybody.
Yeah.
Seek for help.
Yes.
But don't act behind your so-called hurt and destroy others.
Okay, that one I can totally agree with Councillor Lutros on that. I feel like indeed hurt people, but please, I think that Yvonne, we have loved her for who she became, who we saw Princess Tyra to today, and I can confidently back Counselor said, that we have loved her for who she has shown us she is, and we didn't even tell her that she's a parent or not, and we have followed her. And that's why people even went out to support her in knowing what she had written in the book. So I feel like she should look at the positives, look at the bottle half full that it is, half empty. Enough has been done on social media. The book is a great book that can guide other women to do better with themselves.
But can she go and talk back to with the mother if she's not in talking terms?
I think that's something that she should think about, because baby, we all need her, and sometimes since that's the only parent that is available, I would recommend and I would suggest that it would be something that if you try it, it will help you as a person. However, this is the end of the show.
Yeah.
Trust me, ladies, this conversation that was going on, it was very emotional for me. But we're going to wrap up the show right here on Toast. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode. Thanks to Launcher for having us again. And you can find them on social media at LauncherGH. And you pass through and obviously do the needful. My ladies, Mami Enimwa, Vanessa, and the Council Lutra to join me today. And it was a great conversation. See you next week.
Best.
Are we changing again?
Let me see. Alice Parton.
But I'm going. Let me bend you. Thank you. Anita, thank you for using me, okay?